Listen, today I'm going to show you something most men never understand, the three clearest signs a woman shows when the spark of desire is already burning inside her. And I need you to stay with me until the third one, because that's the signal that happens right in front of you, and still almost every man misses it. Before we get into the signs, I need to tell you something important. If you've ever missed moments like this in your life, it wasn't because you're not attractive. It wasn't because you lack confidence, and it definitely wasn't because you're not good enough. You missed them because no one ever taught you the language she speaks when she feels something. And that language is not direct. It's not obvious. It's not loud. A man feels desire and he moves toward it. A woman feels desire and she tests. She observes. She creates moments and then she waits. She opens a door, but she watches closely to see, will you walk through it? Or will you stand there confused? And this isn't random. This is deeply wired. For years, for generations, a woman had to feel safe before she could feel open, before she could allow herself to feel anything deeper, and that instinct is still there. So when she feels something for you, she doesn't say it. She shows it quietly, subtly, almost invisibly, and these three signs, these are those signals. Sign number 1, she starts touching you. Not in an obvious way, not in a forced way, but in small, natural moments. She touches your arm when she talks. She nudges you when she laughs. She finds reasons that don't even make sense. And here's what you need to understand. She doesn't need to do that. But she does it anyway, and sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. Because when a woman feels something, her body reacts first. She'll touch you, and for just a second she won't pull away. That second is everything. That's her body saying, I want to feel closer to you, before her words ever do. Sign number 2, the way she looks at you changes. Not just that she looks at you, but how she looks at you. She holds eye contact longer than normal, longer than comfortable, and then she looks down, not away, not distracted, down, and then she looks back at you again. There's a rhythm to it, a quiet pattern. And if you're paying attention, it feels different. It feels like she's saying something, without saying anything at all. I see you, and I like what I see. But here's where most men lose it. They hesitate. They overthink. They break the moment, and just like that, it's gone. Sign number 3, this is the one almost no man sees. She creates space just for you. You're around other people, there's noise, conversations, movement, and suddenly she finds a way to separate the moment. Come here. Let me show you something. Let's go over there. Or she leans in and lowers her voice, like what she's about to say is only meant for you. This is not random, this is intention. Because before a woman opens up, before anything physical ever happens, she creates a space where she feels safe, a small world where it's just you and her, and in that moment, she's not asking, she's inviting. And here's the truth most men never realize if you don't step into that moment. She steps out of it. And when she steps out, you don't get it back. Final truth, you didn't miss these moments because you weren't good enough. You missed them because you didn't understand them, but now you do. And once you see this, you can't go back to not seeing it. Next time it happens, you won't freeze. You won't hesitate. You'll recognize it. You'll feel it, and you'll move with it. And that right there is the difference between a man who keeps wondering you didn't miss signs. You didn't understand them. Most men live in regret without even realizing it. They replay moments in their head, conversations, eye contact, small interactions, and they ask themselves one question: did she like me? But the truth is harder to accept. It's not that she didn't like you. It's that you didn't understand what she was showing you, because attraction doesn't always look obvious. It doesn't always come with clear signals, bold moves, or direct words. Sometimes it comes in the smallest shifts. A pause that lasts a second longer, a look that lingers just a bit too much, a moment that feels different, but you ignore it. And that's where most men lose, not in the big moments, but in the subtle ones. You see, men are wired to look for clarity. Straight answers, clear interest, direct action. But attraction, real attraction, doesn't always work like that. Especially not with women. What she feels internally, she expresses indirectly, through behavior, through energy. Through moments that don't scream for attention, but quietly ask for awareness. And if you've never been taught how to read that, you'll stand in front of opportunity and not even recognize it. You'll think nothing happened, while in reality everything was happening. And this is why some men always feel like they're almost there, like they keep getting close but never quite getting the result. It's not bad luck, it's not timing, and it's not because other men are better. It's because those men see what you don't. They recognize the moment while you question it, and the moment you start seeing it too, everything changes. Because now you're not guessing anymore, you're not hoping. You're not waiting for obvious signs that may never come. You're reading what's already there. You're responding in real time. And that shift, that awareness is what separates confusion. Women don't express desire directly. They signal it. A man moves toward what he wants. It's simple, direct, clear. If he feels something, he acts on it. But a woman doesn't move like that. Not because she's unsure, but because she's aware. She understands that attraction isn't just about feeling, it's about who you're feeling it for. So instead of revealing everything at once, she reveals it in layers, slowly, carefully, not to confuse you, but to understand you. Because every small signal she gives you is also a question. Do you notice this? Do you understand me? Are you confident enough to respond without being told what to do? And most men fail right there. They wait for something obvious, something undeniable, something that removes all risk. But attraction doesn't remove risk. It tests how you handle it. She won't say, "I like you." She'll show up differently around you. Her tone softens, her attention lingers, her energy shifts in a way that's subtle but intentional. And if you're only listening to words, you'll miss everything she's actually saying, because the real communication is happening underneath. In the pauses, in the way she responds, in the way she stays just a little longer than she needs to. This is where attraction lies, not in what's spoken, but in what's felt. And the moment you stop waiting for clarity and start reading the signals instead, you step into a different position. You're no longer reacting, you're understanding, and that understanding is what makes her feel like you get it. And when a woman feels understood without having to explain herself, that's when attraction starts to deepen. Silently, naturally. Attraction shows up physically before words, before anything is said, before she admits anything, even to herself. Her body already knows. Attraction doesn't begin with logic. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask for clarity. It starts silently. Inside the body, a slight shift in posture, a subtle lean in your direction, a change in how close she chooses to stand next to you. These are not decisions. These are reactions. Because when she feels drawn to you, her body starts closing the gap, even if her mind hasn't caught up yet. And that's where most men get confused. They listen for words, while her body has already answered. She may still act normal, she may still speak casually, but underneath that surface, something has already changed. Her presence becomes softer but more focused. Her movements become more aware but more natural. She doesn't need to say, "I feel something," because her behavior is already expressing it. And here's the part almost no one understands. These physical signals are more honest than words. Words can be filtered, controlled, adjusted to fit the situation, but the body reveals what's real without strategy, without overthinking. That's why a brief touch can mean more than a long conversation. That's why a lingering look can say more than a compliment ever could. Because in those moments, there's no mask. And if you learn to recognize that shift, that quiet change in how she exists around you, you stop needing confirmation. You don't wait for her to explain herself. You don't look for obvious proof. You feel it, you read it. And you respond to it in real time. And that ability to understand what's unspoken is what puts you ahead of men who are still waiting for words that were never meant to come. Emotional safety comes before anything physical. Attraction alone is never enough. A woman can feel drawn to you, curious about you, even excited by you, and still hold herself back. Not because the feeling isn't real, but because the environment isn't. For her, connection isn't just about chemistry. It's about where that chemistry can exist safely. Before she lets you get closer, she observes how you make her feel. Not with your words, but with your presence. Are you calm or reactive? Are you grounded or seeking validation? Are you leading the moment or waiting to be guided? She notices all of it, quietly, constantly, because emotional safety isn't something she asks for, it's something she senses. It's in the way you handle silence, the way you respond without pressure, the way you don't rush what doesn't need to be rushed. And when that safety is there, something shifts. She becomes more open, more expressive, more willing to stay in the moment with you. Not because you convinced her, but because she feels like she doesn't need to protect herself around you. And that's the moment everything starts to deepen, because once she feels safe, she stops holding back parts of herself. Her guard lowers, her energy softens, her attention becomes more intentional, and now what started as attraction has space to grow into something stronger. But if that safety isn't there, it doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how much potential there was. She'll slowly disconnect, not dramatically, not obviously, but enough for the moment to fade. And you'll be left wondering what changed when in reality nothing changed. It just never felt right for her to open. That's why the man who understands emotional safety doesn't chase reactions. He creates an environment, and in that environment, attraction doesn't feel risky anymore. It feels natural, easy, inevitable. Smiling face with horns, the man who understands signals. Wins without chasing. There are two types of men in this game. The first one is always chasing, trying harder, saying more, doing more. He believes attraction comes from effort. So he pushes, he proves, he overextends himself hoping something will finally click. But the more he chases, the more things slip out of his control. Because he's reacting, not understanding. Then there's the second man. He's not louder. He's not more desperate. He's not even trying harder. He's simply aware. He sees what's happening beneath the surface. He notices the shift in energy. He recognizes the moment before it passes. So instead of chasing, he responds calmly, naturally, at the right time. And that changes everything, because now he's not trying to create attraction. He's stepping into it. He's meeting her where she already is, instead of dragging her where he wants her to be. And that's why it feels effortless. Not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. There's no pressure, no confusion, no overthinking. Just awareness and the confidence to act on it. And here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Attraction isn't about doing more. It's about seeing more, because when you truly understand what's happening, you don't need tricks. You don't need lines. You don't need to force anything. You move at the right moment. You say just enough. You let things unfold instead of pushing them. And that's when everything starts working in your favor, because now you're no longer the man trying to be chosen. You're the man who naturally stands out without asking for attention. And that shift from chasing to understanding is what separates temporary interest from real, lasting attraction. Smiling fire.